So then it was just an option of, you know, which virtual tabletop to use. We'd used Roll20 in the past a heck of a lot. I was really used to that, but I don't know. There was something limiting about that still. And they didn't have the bestiary module on there, and I would quite like some loaded modules. I had a look at some other things. There's a beautiful one called Sending Stone, for example, which doesn't come with any kind of developer-supported stuff. But if you had a really simple thing where you're just uploading all your own assets and you just want to play and have a really nice, clean, simple UI that just works, Sending Stone looked lovely. I had a look at Foundry, which just seems way too complicated for where I'm at and what I'm trying to achieve. I'm just not willing to try and be a GM and use Foundry. The demands that it will call on for me tech-wise, I just don't want to do it. Then I looked at Alchemy, and I decided to go with it in the end. It's got that nice kind of look about it, and while it is lacking in a few things still, it does have the official module support for Dragonbane. It's got a nice enhanced edition version with the flowing kind of animation and some music added and things like that. And it could be better. It could be a lot better. You know, it could have the initiative cards, which it doesn't have, and being able to like turn an initiative card if you've spent your action early by parrying or dodging or something. Just something to be able to show that you've to denote those things, and some more critical automation would be good as well. In things like, I don't know, you've got 6 conditions. So if you pick up a condition, i.e., you know, a status ailment to one of your stats, until it's healed, all rolls that use that stat as its core will be rolled at a Bane, i.e. roll 2 and keep the lowest. Well, you'd think because it's got a toggle kind of like a click on, you can click the stat as a player. You'd think the system would be able to read that. Foundry would, obviously. You'd think it'd be able to read it and say, okay, now we roll in that stat, and it doesn't. It will just roll the 1 die. So then you have to have the presence of mind to say, okay, let me check my skills list. And now you do the thing and manually right-click on the skill and select the Bane and then roll it. And it's a bit sort of, at that point, why aren't you just using a character sheet? Because if you had a character sheet, you've got all the information on one page. You've got a one-page experience rather than having to like traverse through tabs and menus and go a character sheet that's actually split up over tabs as well. So the different elements of your character sheet. So if I was a player in this, I would definitely keep a paper character sheet as well. And even as the GM, I probably want to do that, because I probably want to just see like an empty one in front of me, so that I've got like a prompt of what all the 30 skills are, so that I can, you know, figure out what skill to call for, because the skills are not laid out in the GM's version. So there we are. Anyway, it's Alchemy. It could be better, but we're going with it. It looks beautiful. It's got that theatre of the mind kind of support. I think sometimes with things like, from looking at gameplay on say, Foundry, and it can even happen with Roll20. It's great. And you've got the beautiful light effects that change where your little token's moving and you're physically moving it through all the buildings, and there's these huge maps that you're traversing and exploring, and Fog of War opens as you go, and it's all lovely in that, but there's a sense somehow like something is getting changed in the process, you know, converted into a sort of computer game experience a little bit. It's starting to get a bit that way, you know, like you are playing a computer game rather than just like leaving it to the imagination to, you know, do we need all of those visual elements? That's up for debate, perhaps, you know. With something like Foundry, you've got like a splash screen, you've got your main kind of thing, and then you can ask all the players, go to tactical mode within that scene, yeah. And they all click tactical mode, and it basically switches you to whatever battle map you've set up for that scene. So, yeah, there it is. Anyway, Alchemy, and that's why.